The campaign of 2007 was considered the climate change election. Labor's promise to ratify the Kyoto Protocol and introduce an emissions trading scheme helped get Kevin Rudd into the lodge. 3 years on, it's a very different story. The environment slipped off the political agenda, even though recent polling shows voters still do care about the issue. Here's environment reporter Sarah Clarke.
Less than a week out, and with a united message, these protesters will vote with the environment in mind.
Real action to deliver real cuts in carbon pollution and put us on the track to a clean and prosperous renewable energy future.
Climate change was the centrepiece of Kevin Rudd's election victory. This time around, it slipped off the radar. Labor's put its emissions trading scheme on hold until 2013. Instead, it's promised to spend $1 billion over a decade, connecting renewable power into the grid. All new coal-fired power stations will have to store and capture carbon, and it'll set up a 150-person citizens' assembly seeking consensus on climate change.
Whilst we are building that consensus that we need to do what we have to do, here are the policies we will put in place.
The coalition has a different strategy. It'll spend $2.5 billion over 4 years on an emissions reduction fund, offering incentives for energy-efficient companies. As well, it's promised 1 million solar energy homes, and 20 million trees will also be planted.
That's what we'll do, as opposed to an approach which is a citizens' talk fest, cash for clunkers, but ultimately a massive hike in electricity prices.
The Greens say both sides have missed the mark.
Whether it's Julia or Tony that becomes the next Prime Minister, we won't have a Green Prime Minister. That's why we need the Greens in Parliament.
Tor Hundlow was one of the first candidates to run on the environment in 1974. He says the key issues have been overlooked.
The average voter, I believe, will penalise both of the major parties because they have dodged, they've walked away from environmental issues.
During this campaign, key issues like health and the economy have dominated, and spending promises on the environment have fallen well short of last election. Julia Gillard and Tony Abbott will know soon enough if they've underestimated voters' concerns. Sarah Clarke, ABC News.
One person is